आम सुंदर हमारे यार लखन को जिया लल के
श्याम सुंदर हमारो यार लखन को जिया लल के
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 श्याम सुंदर. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. This is the one quality you need in life. Because nobody starts at the top, you always start here. And the journey to success is always fraught with failures. Do you have the ability to get up every time you fall down? That is what will require grit. Sri Krishna says, those people who have the firm resolve, they are very dear to me. And Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi Yo Mad Bhaktaha Same Priya. Those who have dedicated their mind and their intellect to me. This is the faith. Not Ganga Gaye Ganga Ram, Yamuna Gaye Yamuna Ram. So some people are always wishy-washy. This faith is such an important thing. A Guruji in the Himalayas, he told his disciple at night, he gave him a little box. It was a fit. The lid was on top. And he said, Beta, there's this ashram 3 kilometers away. Go and give it to the Guruji who lives there. So he took the box, my Guru's seva. But there was lutter putter going on inside. I wonder what has Guruji given. So Guruji had told him, you don't open it. You just hand it as it is. So he was taking it, lutter putter is going on. He can't figure out what is this Guruji has given. Finally he opened it. There was something inside and it jumped out. He came back with an empty box to Guruji. Guruji, what is it you had given me? Guruji said, Beta, I had given you Shraddha, and in one leap it disappeared. Shraddha is the faith. I am surrendering my intellect to my Guru. I can keep it there and follow the instructions. This is the surrender of the intellect. Now that is the one thing we don't want to do. Guruji, I am surrendered to you. One person came to me. Swamiji, I am completely surrendered to you. I want to leave the world and also become a Swamiji. I said, you are fully surrendered? Yes, Swamiji. In that case, continue working. No, I don't want to keep working. Then where are you surrendered? Surrender means the willingness to follow instructions. It is like that disciple, his Guruji was about to depart. So Chela said, Guruji, aap ja rahe hain, mera kya hoga? You know, from Golok, the Singhasan will come for you. Is it possible that I can grab it and go along? You will not lose anything. Guruji said, Theek hai, if that is your wish, you come along. So Sri Krishna sent the Singhasan and Guruji sat on it, disciple held from below. Now they were doing this intergalactic travel. Shishya said, Guruji, we are going to Golok. Yes, beta. Are there any cows in Golok? Are beta, they are. How big are the cows, Guruji? Are beta, when you reach there, you see, Guruji, they must be this big. So he left the Singhasan and went back. So the surrender of the mind and intellect, Sri Krishna says, that is very dear to me. One more verse we have to do so that we can then finish the chapter tomorrow. Yasmanno dvijate loko.
यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको
Lokanno dvijate chayah.
लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः
हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्
हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः
मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः.
मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः
Translation: those who are not a source of annoyance to anyone, who in turn are not agitated by anyone, who are equal in pleasure and pain, and free from fear and anxiety, such devotees of mine are very dear to me. So he is continuing. Actually, the process of bhakti is such, these qualities will develop naturally. Because the soul is glorious, the soul is a part of God. The mind is what is coming in the way. If the mind gets purified, the glory of the soul will shine forth. And the mind is purified through bhakti. Prema bhakati jala binu raghurai abhiyantar malakabahu na jai. But this is a kind of a check, that is your bhakti going properly? If your bhakti is going properly, these qualities should naturally start developing. If they are not, then maybe in your bhakti you are making some mistakes. Let us see. My devotee is not a source of annoyance to others, because devotion melts your heart. And when your heart is soft, you don't wish to trouble anyone. There's a South Indian story of a kathavachak called Nambiyar. He used to do the Ram Katha. And another kathavachak came called Kulashekar, who would do the Ram Katha even better. And when Kulashekhar's Katha would start, then people would go there in hordes. And that created a lot of bitterness in Nambiyar. One day his wife was missing. When he inquired, he discovered she had gone to Kulashekhar's Katha. He went there and just stood at the door side and looked at everybody who was listening with rapt attention, including the wife, until he just burst forth and he said, "You are doing katha, you don't know anything, you are a hypocrite, you are a cheater, you are fooling the people." There was stunned silence. Nambiyar's wife quickly left, and Nambiyar, having said all that, also left. Now at night, he started regretting, what did I do? Unnecessarily, I criticized the Kathavachak and all these things that I said. In the morning, he said, I really need to make amends. I should go and ask for forgiveness. So at 4:30, when it was still dark, he came out of his house and he collided with a man who was sitting on his staircase with a blanket wrapped around. So he looked carefully, and the other Kathavachak Kulashekar was there. Kulashekar said, "Sir, I am so sorry. I disturbed you and you had to say so many nasty things. I humbly beg you to let me know what my mistakes were so that I can make amends." Now, Nambihar was already feeling regret, and seeing the humble behavior of Kulashekar, he completely melted. So Sri Krishna said that my devotees don't hurt others. But then he also says they are not hurt by others. These hurts which we feel is the sign of our ego. This person behaved like this, that person behaved like that. So first of all, we feel hurt, then we justify our hurt. Why did he behave like that? He should not have, he should have known better. And when we justify our hurts, that only enhances them. Because the only thing that gets worse, the more you nurture it, is a grudge. You nurture the grudge and it gets worse. So, the moment we feel hurt, it is a sign of ignorance. Why? Because everybody has the right to behave and say as they wish, as long as it is legal. They have the right to say what they like. You have the right to be hurt or not to be hurt. Who asked you to get hurt? The story of the Buddha we have heard so many times, that somebody came and kept on hurling abuses on him for 1 hour and then got tired. And the Buddha said to his disciples, feed him and give him something to drink so he can start again. The man said, you did not get affected. The Buddha said, I gave you a gift. If somebody gives you a gift and you don't take it, with whom does it remain? The person who was giving it. So you were giving it, I did not take it. The Buddha understood the simple principle that there's the external environment and your inner thoughts. Who asked you to get hurt? Why did you get hurt? Did God ask you to get hurt? First of all, we get hurt. And second, we justify our hurts. And third, we demand that other people need to change to make our hurt feel less. This becomes a vicious trap. An emotionally mature person is one who chooses not to be hurt. The unfortunate reality of this world is that 50% of humankind, even though they are physically grown up, they are emotionally immature and they are still choosing to harbor hurts. And even worse, they are choosing to justify their hurts. So he says, and my devotee who does not get hurt by others is very dear to me. And then he says, who is equal in pleasure and pain. Equal in pleasure and pain. How will you become equal in pleasure and pain? How will you handle pleasurable and painful situations equally? When you decide pleasure and pain is not my goal, my inner growth is my goal. One mouse fell into a jar of sugar and he kept on eating until he dug his own grave. He was now so deep he had no way to go up. The pleasure itself trapped the mouse. That is how it is. What traps people? The pursuit of pleasure. Before they realize it, they are now addicts of Netflix, etc., etc. On the other hand, pain, when tolerated positively, is the most liberating thing. It is the tapasya that frees you. Now, a donkey fell into a farmer's well and started doing hee-haw, hee-haw. The farmer came and saw, oh my God, it was a dry well and an old donkey. The farmer said, it's not worth the labor of pulling the donkey out because the well is useless and so is the donkey. Let me bury it here. So he took mud and started throwing. Now the donkey had seen its master and thought, now I am saved. And it saw the master throwing mud and the donkey was shocked. But it shrugged off the mud. And every time the farmer threw, it shrugged off the mud. And slowly the well started rising and rising and rising until the donkey was almost till the top. And it jumped off and ran away. That which was supposed to be its grave turned out to be liberating. So what is liberating? The pain. And what is binding? The pleasure. So a devotee is one who takes both in their stride. The devotee who doesn't make pleasure comfort as the goal. But the inner growth, Arjun, is very dear to me. And that devotee is free from fear. So why do we experience fear? Bhoge roge bhayam, kule chuti bhayam, vitte nripalad bhayam, sarvavastu bhayanvitam bhuvininam vairagyam eva abhayam. Wherever you are attached, it will result in fear. If you are attached to people, you will fear separation from them. If you are attached to prosperity, you will fear poverty. If you are attached to indulging your senses, you will fear disease. If you are attached to name and fame, you will fear infamy. And the moment you become detached, fear will disappear. So the devotee is one. Finally, he ends. Udvegair mukto, one who is free from anxiety. So some people are always fighting with their circumstance. Oh God, I'm not married. You have to get me married. I can't tolerate one more month. Why does God not listen to me? I have lost my job. God, can't you see I have lost my job? I'm praying to you. Are you not listening? So maybe God is listening and saying you need to be without a job for some time. Why don't you leave it in God's hand? Or maybe God is saying, I need you to improve your mindset before I listen to your prayers. So, moment you are demanding, you have to do this, you are at battle with all of creation. The devotee has got faith in the plan of God. One little child asked his granny, what are you doing, Dadima? And granny said, I am stitching a sweater for you. So the little child was unaware how sweaters are stitched. He came and said, now all there were this woolen strings. And he said, Dadima, this doesn't look like a sweater. She said, come here, let me show you. She put him on the lap. He saw from the top a beautiful pattern was being formed. Likewise, sometimes it thinks that our life is chaotic. But if you see from God's side, He's taking care and He's bringing all the souls to perfection. So when you have faith, then you leave it in His hands and become free from anxiety. So He has told us so many qualities. We have completed till verse 15. The last 5 verses of this chapter we will take tomorrow. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki